day one of Salone del Mobile here in Milano. It's running from today being Tuesday until Saturday. This space is huge, so be prepared for lots of inspiration, lots of noise, lots of Italian colour. I can't wait. So it's day one of Salone del Mobile here in Milano, and I've just literally run straight into Mel from Agfa. How are you?
I'm well. I'm so excited for our first day of the trip.
So it's so good to be here. We're going to be hooking up as well for some collaborative stuff. And congratulations to everyone who's on the tour.
Yes, I'm so glad you all made it.
Stay tuned. We'll be sharing lots of inspiration. Bye. So we're inside and the halls are immense, so are the crowds. I don't know if you can see all the way down there. It's so huge, this space, and there's a walkway above us as well, just to deal with the massive traffic. But for me, it's all of our kitchens, my favourite room in the house. So I'm going to start with this massive hall now, Euro Cucina. I'm so excited I've got to go and start cooking and finding out those pots and pans. We arrived early on day one of the fair, but as soon as we entered the first pavilion, it was obvious that the crowds were already gathering. The queues at some of the renowned kitchen stands were already long and moving really slowly, but that turned out to be quite interesting because instead of standing in line, we ventured into the smaller stands instead, discovering brands that we may not have otherwise given much attention to. In fact, it's often from the lesser known brands that we discover the most interesting new design, the risk takers leading innovation. Amongst the many material choices, stainless steel has been quite prominent in the last few years, and once again this year we saw it on display in a wide range of tactile and practical finishes. We know that stainless steel is so important, especially in Australia where we love to entertain outdoors. Now this is external grade stainless steel, but it's got their vintage finish. So you can see that beautiful scratch detail. It's already scratched, meaning it's actually going to perform really well and stop any scratching on it. But beautiful detail. Over here it's actually a porcelain product and frame. Sorry my friend, I just want to open that. But internally it's all stainless steel, porcelain exterior, stainless steel interior, and this is the matte stainless steel. It's super sexy. They can also do powder coat finishes on the stainless steel as well, making it durable outside. This is stainless steel inside. So look, stainless steel overdrive. Textures are very important in all finishes, but especially in kitchens, the most hands-on room in any home. And stainless steel is definitely a material we like to touch, almost as much as natural stone. Despite not having major shifts in kitchen looks and finishes, once again the focus seems to be on practical selections, quality hardware and organisational solutions. Every kitchen on display is a joy to explore, with as much beauty inside as it has on the outside. While some people think it's difficult to improve the existing finishes and design choices and looks in modern kitchens, there are technological improvements that once again aim to make the use of kitchens as practical and satisfying as possible. Here at the ASCO stand, it's exciting to see people who want to have induction but still want to be able to have grill. This is the plate that sits on top of an induction and the heat comes through. They've also got a flat version of this for teppanyaki, so you can enjoy the grilled look but on an induction. Fantastic. Range hoods are so important in the home, but there's lots of opportunity when it comes to design here in Milan. This is actually a new company that's launching at the Fiera. You can see the shapes. These are to hang over an island, but look at the gorgeous finishes, offering lots of design opportunities, rib finishes and tubular. This beautiful scalloped finish as well. But come down here, you can see these are more elliptical. You might be able to hear that one's running. How's this for a stand? What an amazing piece to be able to have on an island. How's this for something completely sculptural? It's almost like some folded paperwork. This is not actually new to the market, it's been around a little while now. Instead of having your separate cooktop and range hood, this is downdraft. So the motor's inside, and as you can see here, the steam is going inside as well as all the smells if you're cooking really heavily scented food. If you look at the price point, this with the range hood included. Works about the same price as an induction cooktop and a separate range hood, but it gives you adaptability within the kitchen design. It can now be placed in an island, and I think it just elevates the space. Now, this caught my eye because I could see water in the one next to me. Nicholas, explain to us what this does.
So, look, in short, it is essentially a fully professional combi steam oven that's been redesigned and re-engineered for the domestic market or for the domestic home. So it brings all the technology, the performance of what chefs use in the commercial kitchen now at home. But we re-engineered our commercial product so it can be built flush into cabinetry. It's got an integrated range hood, and obviously the kicker is that it cleans itself at the end of it. The whole thing has over 500 automated cooking functionalities in the oven, so anything you can think of, it's in there. But there are accessories that you put into the oven to grill your steak on. So this plate will go inside the oven, get really hot, and you grill the steak on that to give you the grill marks.
Amazing.
So essentially what these machines can do is they can eliminate the need for any other appliance in the home. This can replace a barbecue, a pizza oven, a dehydrator, a steaming, a sous vide machine. It can all be done in the one unit.
So it's all in one, and then at the end of the process, you could go through
Washing.
and wash.
Washing.
The door locks, and then it cleans itself. It's exciting to see how technology is coming into the item. So this is LG's range. Now, what's really amazing in here is the AI wash. So this is actually sensing the fabrics that you're putting into the washing machine and then picking the cycle to wash for you based on the fabric that you're putting in. How amazing is that? So if they're more delicate clothes, it's going to give you a more gentle wash, and maybe more robust fabric, it's going to go stronger for it. So it's just amazing to see technology coming through. In their fridge range, they've also got an AI option. It's able to then deal with what time you're there in the systems that work for you to make sure that your food stays crisper, so it might adjust the temperature for the busy times in the morning or the busy times in the evening when you're cooking. It's amazing to see integration going into the appliances, and this word AI can be a bit overwhelming and scary for people, but here it's utterly exciting. Now, Smeg needs no introduction. It's very strong in the Australian market, but the great thing about actually coming to the theatre is to see new products, new technologies, and of course new colours. But there's two new colours that these are prototypes. We've got this beautiful red and mustard. Now, these aren't launched yet, but apparently they're coming. So it's nice to see where colours are going in the directions for our kitchens. Can we match these with the finishes in our joinery or the schemes throughout our homes? They're all quite dusted and muted tones, and damn sexy. From stand to stand, the message is constant and clear. A quality kitchen is made of more than just the way it looks. It must also be easy to use and include practical solutions inside and out. So, just over half the first day is already gone. We've been walking and walking and walking and taking so many photographs. There is food everywhere here at the stand, and because it's Italy, the quality of the food is quite outstanding. But we actually got salad. We're sitting out in the bit of sun that we could find. It's a beautiful day, and Sandro doesn't realise because I'm having salad for lunch, that means I'm having pasta for dinner. Now, a lot of people realise that Salone del Mobile is a furniture fair international, and of course there's the kitchens, cucina, every second year. But what some people don't realise that it is also the international bathroom fair, and that makes me equally excited. Bathrooms, like kitchens, must of course be functional, but also adaptable, not only in the way the space looks, but also in the available options. It's obvious to me that lifestyle upgrades such as saunas and spas have increased in exposure this year, in addition to the vast range of elegant finishes and materials on show. Coloured basin and sanitary ware are far more popular in Europe than they are in Australia, but I find the range of colours available quite exciting. The range of shapes available is also inspiring, transforming the humble basin into a sculptural item meant to elevate the bathroom experience. Once again, the Australian market doesn't seem to appreciate coloured tapware as much as the European market does, but metallic finishes are popular, and I'm glad to see that besides that classic brushed brass and brushed nickel, the copper, bronze and even chocolate finishes seem to be rising in popularity. There's sometimes things that catch your eye as you walk past, and the colour and the form on this particular stand just got me excited straight away. This is Valdama. Now the quality is quite beautiful. These almost chemistry shapes, they're really clean and quite gorgeous, and they've got matching tapware as well. And look at the thick sides. This is interesting. It's all coming back. It's almost like it's been handmade on the wheel. And this one around here I want to show you. How gorgeous is this? These are the tank basins, just a beautiful shape. And again, colour matching. And I'll let you in on a little secret. This brand is available through Parisi in Australia. So you'll be able to have these, and I think they're just quite striking. Gone are the days when bathrooms are simply a room where basic functions take place. Bathtubs are inviting, and vanities look more and more like precious pieces of furniture. Bathroom accessories are available in a great array of finishes to match the tapware: brass, silver, multiple en vogue colours, and in gloss and matte. No bathroom seems to be complete without a standout bathtub. The choices are endless in both colours and shapes. And tapware adds the final touch to the bathrooms, like jewellery on an outfit. Some basins are sculpted out of precious marbles and shaped to be admired, like one would admire a piece of art. Coloured joinery is everywhere, sometimes bold and at other times playful, squared and functional or curved, appealing at times and surprising at others. Stand after stand, it's obvious that going to the bathroom is now seen as an experience to enjoy, rather than just a functional space to hide. There's something for everybody at Milano Design Week. Inspiring, practical, funny, or totally out there. But not everything we see at the fair is relevant to the Australian market, of course. For me, as a designer, it's my job to discern what I feel is practical, whilst always being aware of what's available in the world of design. So it's been a massive day so far, and a really early start. It's a massive undertaking. Just to give you some sort of an idea, this is the list of all of the presenters, all of the stands here at the fair. That's one side, and then the other. As far as finishes, well, it's been really interesting. I've seen a really big uptake in stainless steel, and not the traditional stainless steel finish, that more sort of glossy finish, beautifully etched stainless steel and matte finishes in both outside and internal quality, because of course it's a different grade. Something that surprised me, I've noticed quite a bit of travertine coming back through in some of the finishes, and that was something I didn't expect. As far as colours, I've noticed, of course, those warmer tones, that modern Mediterranean look, but some burgundies, some mustards. And what's been really interesting is the amount of glass. So there's fluted glass in joinery and glass bench tops as well in a really thin profile. So that was something unexpected. As far as appliances, well, really matte finish in induction cooktops, and a lot of downdraft where the exhaust is within the cooktop instead of having a separate range hood. So that's something that's not new, but there was a lot more of it in that beautiful matte finish. It's been quite exciting, but sometimes you end up a little bit brain numb. So I've got to say, my legs are feeling tired, my brain is feeling tired, but in the pursuit of good design, it's not time to give up. It's just time to remember that we're here in Milan, and I think it's time for a spritz. And even though Milan's actually the home of Campari, for me it's Aperol Spritz, and it's going to be nice and deep and orange. Having a quick break, and then we've got to go off for more spritz and more design. With an overload of kitchen and bathroom information, we decided to change the pace. We left the fair and headed back into the city to visit a couple of showrooms in the Brera district. One showroom I always make sure I visit when I come for Milano, Salone del Mobile, is Boffi. I think they just have amazing space. It's a beautiful showroom spread out over 2 levels, but they set up these rooms, and the mixture of finishes and the quality of materials is just outstanding. It's completely inspiring. But when you go to a showroom that's really high quality, when you get to come and see something really special, it's about just noticing the small details, something that you could replicate on a smaller project or with the right client. It's utterly inspiring. One material that never seems to decline in presence within high-end showrooms is natural stone. Marble, especially with its vast range of colours and varying degrees of veining, is so popular. Basins, bench tops, bathtubs, and even walls of beautifully textured marble. Today it's all about furniture, whether it's for the office, for the home, for the living, for the dining, for the bedroom. I'm actually going to be looking at shape, some texture, of course, colour, and any different directions from the last time that I was here to see how I can incorporate that in my projects, and then get an idea of where it's going globally and how I understand how we are going nationally. Like in past years, the evolution of curved and pebble-shaped sofas and armchairs are still the most prevalent. An obvious reference to organic shapes, which gives our interiors a welcoming sense of comfort. Many fabrics are textured and tactile, while a range of metal finishes bring some bling to interiors without feeling cold. Great attention is also given to decor, objects that can be functional or simply sculptural touches used to add style and moderate splashes of colour. Milano Design Week of course has a lot to offer, and despite from attending to better understand what's specifically relevant to my clients, I'm always open to novelty and the unexpected. In contrast to the rounded shapes so popular in most stands, Japanese and Scandinavian influences continue to have a strong presence at the fair, with their characteristic simplified and linear forms. A very elegant look that demands great attention to detail and quality of materials. A material that I've seen more of this year is glass, adding a contemporary sculptural touch to interiors and yet with a slight hint of retro. Especially coffee tables and side tables. Being transparent, they're seemingly light, but they offer a beautiful range of colours and shapes. Pairing beautifully with organic shapes of furniture are the heavily textured surfaces that remind us of natural stone and timbers found in nature. And finally, colour trends. Colour is possibly the very first thing that captures our attention when looking around the stands, and every year I come to Milan curious. Amongst everything on the show, I want to see what new colour directions this fair unveils. Well, it was no surprise at all that once again this year we see a wide range of terracotta shades in a range of earthy tones, welcoming and clearly here to stay. Greens are again the standout, muted, toned down and calming. Now blues are also present but not as much as previous years, but this time steel blue was definitely a standout. However, it's the palette of wine colours that's the standout presence in both furniture and fabrics this year. Outdoor furniture appeared to have stepped up in volume at this year's fair, where high quality outdoor furniture displays were all as beautiful as their indoor equivalent. This is especially relevant to the Australian market, as being blessed with a moderate climate, we tend to spend a great deal of our home time living outdoors. Outdoor furniture is oversized and welcoming. The fabrics are durable and textured, and details like stitching and weaving are thoughtfully considered and proudly displayed. It's logical that even the colour palette displays the same finishes as we see in interior trends. Much of the outdoor offerings in furniture are so beautiful and comfortable that I could easily bring them indoors without a moment's hesitation. We keep walking from stand to stand, from one pavilion to the next, and yes, the feet start to feel it. But halfway between work and entertainment, visiting this enormous fair is a continuous source of amazement, learning, and inspiration. There's truly something for everyone here. Well, it's been a massive day. We've struggled through as many halls as we could. Of course, this fair is huge, so it's impossible to see everything. People are slowly leaving this time of the afternoon because there's lots of events on in the city, and we'll be doing the same very soon ourselves. Buonasera. Now, we've had another massive day walking around the fair, and we've come back into the city, but my poor beautiful friend Lucy Sutherland has lost her voice. She doesn't feel well, do you, honey?
I've just got no voice.
So fortunately, I found a universal medicine. It's called Aperol Spritz, and this is going to fix it up completely. We'll have you singing opera very soon. Cheers. As part of Salone, there is also all of the events throughout the city. It comes alive. There are glasses going past us, trams full of people. There's the designer crowd with their designer dogs. We've got all of the crowd here from Australia. But it's exciting just to feel the energy on the street. It is a beautiful city all time of year, and I've been here when the fair is not on. But to be able to see it come alive with great design is so exciting. We've got Mark here. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Mark has been part of the Connect magazine tour. There's a whole group of them together, linked with ACFA. How's the tour been going so far, Mark?
Amazing. Very well. Yeah, everyone's here, the vibe's up, and yeah, it's great to see everyone with a smile and new products.
Is it exciting to see collaboratively? So you're with other people in the industry?
Actually, yeah. We're in other people in the industry. So we're here on behalf of LAFO, which is we're the distributors, Cabinetti Panels. So they've sponsored the event for Connect magazine, so everyone else can enjoy their products.
Well, that's nice. So you can meet with the brand here in Italy that you're then selling throughout Australia.
Basically bringing Italy to Australia. So yeah.
How fantastic! Now Tanya's also part of the group at Connect magazine, always smiling. This is what she looks like all the time. How's it been going, Tanya?
Oh my God, I'm in love. It's so good.
Is this your first time for the fair?
This is the second time.
The second time.
Yes, so I hit kitchens yesterday, furnishings, and today I did bathrooms. So
are you getting inspired and seeing things? I mean, we're pretty ahead of the curve in Australia, but it's always great to be inspired, isn't it?
Oh, I'm loving the amount of colour around it. So good. So colour, curves, it's all there.
And lots of glass. There's been lots of glass that I've seen as well.
Yes. Interesting
now,
applications.
Important question for you, because I noticed the high heels. How are you going with all the finishes on the flooring throughout Italy? Lots of cobblestones.
Oh, it's good. It's all good. I'm a natural.
You're a natural. How are you, Vanessa? Great to see you. Is there anything that you've seen that sort of stood out or that you've it's been a highlight so far?
Oh, listen, I've seen some beautiful printed basins for the bathrooms, and they have just been divine. Absolutely divine. And I lived there in Australia, and it was just more inspiring.
It's great to see sort of like everything on a world scale, and then there's the looks of it, and we start to see what's going to filter through to us. Do you feel like you're sort of getting ahead of the curve now? You've got a bit of an understanding?
100%, and that's the whole reason why I've come here. Just to basically enlighten myself as a designer and see what's coming in, and I can pass that on to my clients. So it's amazing all year, all around. It's all positive.
Ayush, how's the fair been going so far?
It's been fantastic. Completely new experiences for me. This is the first time. So everything that I see is just, oh my God, I've been a sponge. I've just been soaking it up. And my legs have been feeling it, but I'm loving it.
That's part of the fair, isn't it?
Yes.
So you've been going through collectively as the group, and you've been seeing so much. You get to share the experience. Everyone's in a rush to get inside to the event tonight. Is there any highlights, anything that you think really stood out so far?
For me, I think just the use of color
Yeah.
in everything, from the bathrooms to the appliances to everything, just the color. Oh my god, I wish we get as that big of a palette back in Australia as well, but yeah, it's amazing.
And what would you say to anyone considering doing the tour next time I come along? Have you enjoyed the experience sharing with fellow designers from Australia?
Yes, it's been such a fun group. Oh my god, everybody just got on like a house on fire from day one. Yes, I would suggest go with the group because it just helps to, bounce off ideas of one another, just listen to how the experience were previously and how it is now.
Yeah. Another great reason to join the group and Connect Magazine tour.
Yes, thank you.
So Brera is a very well-known district within the city of Milan. It's known for its high-end stores. It's quite gorgeous and boutique. But when it comes time to Salone del Mobile, the streets come alive, installations happen, and whilst this is sort of a busier part of the location, all of the winding side streets with the elegant boutiques really open up, and there's installations above and in shop fronts. It's quite interesting to get a feeling of the pulse of the city from the really high-end brands, but also those little hidden gems that we go looking for. Differently from the Salone, which is the actual fair, the suburbs of Milano such as Brera offer a different take on what design can mean. There was about 1,100 official events listed in this year's Design Week calendar, so trying to see them all is an impossible task. So apart from the must-sees, instead of rushing from one showroom to the next, we've learnt from previous years and enjoyed strolling the streets of this beautiful city, leaving the discovery of something unexpected to chance. The whole city becomes part of this annual event. Shops along the streets, studios hidden in secluded courtyards, apartments transformed into showrooms, and showrooms fitted out like design galleries. Whilst many stores within Brera have furniture and decor items of varying price ranges, even clothing stores go to the trouble to dress up the windows to create that story for the Salone del Mobile. This is American vintage. They've got beautiful fabrics inside, and they're playing with that theme with these ceramic pieces and pottery in the front window. It's nice to see. As an interior designer with a talented artist partner, whenever we travel, we know very well that beauty and inspiration can be found everywhere. All you have to do is remain curious. Make sure when you're walking through the beautiful area of Brera that you don't just look in the windows and look at the products that are displayed. Make sure that you actually appreciate the architecture. This can be enjoyed all year round. And for anyone who loves design of any form, how can you not appreciate this? The time in Milan is gelato o'clock because we've been walking since early this morning. Sandro is filming always. Here's the gelato. Milano is the best example of how design affects everything, from clothing to art to architecture and even food. But furniture and styling and materials, of course, are mostly what I travel to Milano for. So I try to keep my focus on interiors, on the build and design materials. Marsotto Showroom specialises in marble furnishings and finishes, another one of those showrooms that I always make time to visit. Agape is a multi-level showroom that mostly focuses on bathroom design and bathroom furnishings. Outstanding design, precious materials and exclusive shapes and finishes, a visit to this showroom is never disappointing. Via Durini is a particular zone or area within Milan that's beautiful all year round. It's home to some of the most beautiful furniture stores and homeware, and obviously a little sprinkling of fashion as well. It's not a long walk from Duomo, so the Duomo is just that direction. The street really changes for Milano Salone del Mobile though, because it opens up. The weather's beautiful today and they have events out on the street. And it's a nice location to go into just to see how the showrooms come to life and show all of the new stories that they wanted to tell through each of the individual brands. Once again, we found that most of the showrooms this year had long queues. It can prove quite frustrating. Once inside, the spaces were overcrowded and taking clear photographs can be quite a challenge. So we curated a mix of the larger businesses combined with a few carefully selected smaller stores instead, only to confirm that the design directions that had already become evident to me at the furniture fair, such as round shapes, remain the most popular, and the materials that are tactile as well as high quality continue to dominate. Another amazing location and more queues. This year has been quite overwhelming. The queues have been immense for many stands, many of them having to register where normally we walked in and sort of walked through and walked out. Now we actually had a couple of them where we had to wait and go in groups with like a tour guide. So we always come here. This is Edra. It's huge. It's in Via Durini. But this is a long line to get into the event. But we want to persevere because we want to get upstairs and have a look. The range of greens, the earthy ochres, the rise of the wine colours are definitely ongoing trends. We're here in Salone. Now this showroom is very interesting as opposed to many other brands. They have this amazing space which was an original building with these beautiful stairs through. They set up each floor as a different apartment to showcase all of their pieces. But what I particularly love is the marble staircases, which look as beautiful from the underneath as they do from the top. As we walk from room to room, we admire not only the quality of the furniture, but also the way that it's presented. Each level feels like a different functional apartment, each with its own distinct character. It's just beautiful. But this too was another long day, and so as the sun starts to set, we once again head towards evening drinks with work friends and a delicious Italian dinner. Early in the morning, Milan is much calmer. Cafes opening their doors to workers and joggers running along the canals. It's beautiful, and luckily for us, it's another sunny day. There are various areas around Milan that come alive during Salone del Mobile, and one of those is Tortona. Now this is a former industrial area and there's still some factories and businesses here, but this area is always quite interesting. There's installations, there's sometimes technical new products. Some major brands come now and tap into this market. There's young designers work, there's university students work as well. So it's quite emerging design and very interesting, and lots of installations. It's a beautiful sunny morning, so we decided to get here early and beat the crowds. But already people are starting to stream in from the train station and the various lanes into this area. Most of the stores and showrooms in this area are pop-up spaces installed just for the week. But what's most interesting about the area of Tortona is that stepping into any small shop and discovering a mostly unknown brand can make you feel like you've stumbled upon something that's truly special and unique. Like this premium Japanese brand, showcasing its products in a store so small I almost missed it. Outstanding. Tortona is where design is explored in many layers, bringing together electronics, sound, smoke effects, and once again so much information that it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Emerging designers, students of design, makers, artists. Milano Design Week is where everyone is welcome to showcase their work. Prototypes are on show, and sometimes it's simply a concept. Do I like everything I see? Of course not. But I definitely learn something new from every showroom and display, and I truly love that. You never quite know what you're going to find in Tortona, some really experimental things. In this case, it's a consortium between Chinese and Italian design. There's 3D printed shoes. These are most amazingly designed, very futuristic jackets with goose feather inside. But what I also get to love, because I just love architecture, is the actual building that we're in as well. This was all former industrial area. And it's beautiful to be in such an immersive space. We once again walked, letting our curiosity stop us wherever we thought we could find information or inspiration that's the most relevant to our work. And yes, amongst the hundreds of exhibitors, many were not directly relevant to my line of work. But beauty is everywhere, and so is inspiration. We just arrived in this particular stand, so this is a British company. What caught my eye is these beautiful little toggle details. These are a brass plate, and then they're a bronze on top, and they've also got nickel. And the adaptability, I think this is exciting. So they've got the full range matching with their door hardware, their cabinetry hardware, so that you can have the same finish throughout the house. They've also got a range that can be painted, so you can blend it in with your wall colouring, which is super exciting. And then they've got these ones with the clear back plate, so you can put them on wallpaper or maybe a reeded timber finish, so that you can look through and still keep the same function of the item but blend it in. I've just walked into the All Origini boutique, and it just shows you the power of grouping items together in collections. These items individually you might have at home or you might find in a loft shop, but when you group them together, it just really elevates them into a piece of art. And across the wall they've got really grouping of obscure items, different decades, different eras, but they just work together because they've got that unifying feature of colour. I actually have no idea why I'm here, but sometimes you've just got to dive in and experience and see what you can take away from it. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. I've personally always appreciated more ballroom. Well, it's another big day and we've been walking around. Time for Sandra and I to both have a coffee. Tortona is quite a bit of walking, but it's also exciting. Some things really don't mean so much to me from a work point of view, but sometimes that ethereal messaging and the stands just get you thinking in a creative way, and maybe that's just as important. Some stands were a little bit commercial, like the McDonald's stand, but to look at the other side of that, there's a whole history of design that's gone into their Happy Meal figurines and even the logo, and it's a brand we know. So I'm still trying to take something away from that. It's been a big day and we've taken lots of photos as we always do, and I think we'll digest this more when we get back to Sydney, but now it's time to digest something else. Part of Tortona includes these installations where there's experimental messaging talking about how we live and the future and what materials are made from. So there's lots of sort of conceptual ideas here throughout these massive former industrial spaces. building materials, finishes, colour, texture, lighting. What's really good to see is that there's student groups through today, so there's a group of kids being brought through, and I never think it's too early to start getting design and open-minded creative thinking into the next generation. Besides the thousands and thousands of photographs and videos that we take, we always find something to bring home to those we care for. This pop-up jewellery shop was another lucky discovery. Another long day of walking and learning, an average of more than 25,000 steps every day. Sitting down at the end of the day for a break with friends from the industry is really well deserved. And we might be tired, but we're still talking about all the inspirational and beautiful things that we've seen from around town. Well, that's a wrap for Salone del Mobile 2026. It's been a really big experience, a very different fair this year to the last time we were here. A lot more difficulty in getting in some of the stands with guided tours and lining up. There were so many people. The fair itself as well, instead of two massive halls of kitchens and another massive hall of bathrooms, that had been condensed. So it's an obvious sign economically that things are getting a little bit tough globally. But of course you still find the best in design and what's happening around the world here at the fair. I've seen some things that I really like. I've seen a lot of glass in dining tables, slumped glass, beautifully made glass coffee tables and all coloured in tobaccos and blues and greens, gorgeous. I've also seen fluted glass in kitchens and kitchen bench tops in glass, which was something I didn't expect. I've also seen lots and lots of stainless steel in various finishes, and that's sort of been around for many years. It's a functional surface for food preparation, but into the residential market, those beautiful etched finish, those aged finishes, which means they're already pre-etched and scratched, making them more practical to use. As far as colours, the terracotta is definitely still here, the deep blues as well. What's been really interesting is the rise of the sort of the violets, the mauvey tones, the real plummy tones, those sort of dark wine colours, and interestingly lots of natural materials. We've taken so many photos, so much imagery, and we'll be now digesting that when we get home. I put it into various files. I then share that across socials and through the various speaking and presentation gigs that I get to do around Australia. As always, I'm looking what's happening globally and how it relates to us nationally. There's a lot to see at the fair. There's some beautiful ethereal stands and light shows and sound and lots of installations, very conceptual stuff. It's nice, it's interesting, it gets me thinking, and that's what it's aimed to do. But for me, I really want to get to the serious stuff. What I can actually use, that wasn't me, of what I can actually use in the business and take home. So there's many Australians travelling. You can travel and follow all of them vicariously, and I'd love you to do that. Each of us have different takes, and then you can make up your mind from everything you hear of what works for you in your own design project and how you can use this information. Before I go, I just want to thank my collaborators on this particular visit. It's ACFA, Australian Cabinetry and Furniture Association. In association with Connect Magazine, we caught up with the team on the tour. And of course, Taubman's for helping me be able to facilitate all the information that I can share with you. Take care, everyone.